We have an all about sports special here from Breffni Park. The Centra brightens up your day. It's a sporting day organised by the Centra group, and we will hope to speak to some of the key players that Owen has secured for the children today. Over 160 are in attendance. All the food and all the different games and face painting and all courtesy of Centra. Look at the 3G pitch. Owen, Morrissey, you're responsible for the hurling development. Of course, you have some very key people here today.
That's right, Brian. It's great to have the likes of Pork Mar here from Tipperary and Damien Hayes come along here for Centra's Brighten Up Your Day campaign around Ireland. And today was in Breffni Park, and we had over 160 children here. And Pork and Damien took coaching sessions for the kids, and also signed autographs and got photos with the kids. So it's great to push hurling on in the county. And the likes of the lads now really helped today, and and I'd like to thank them for coming along.
Porrick, of course, you have a lot of experience in the hurling, but from Cavan's point of view, we're at the very early stages with the development. Owen has featured on our All About Sport show a number of times with trying to introduce it at grassroots level. Maybe you'd like to say how your experience of starting where Owen is starting with hurling in the county.
Yeah, fair play to Owen for coming to Cavan here, trying to promote the game. There's great strides being made. We've seen here today. The enthusiasm out of the kids was magnificent, and they were great to work with. And all they do is push on the future now, start from grassroots level, because as lads said, there's no senior team here in Cavan, I don't think. So it's up to Owen to get the younger lads going here now. They have great facilities around here, so start at school level and stuff like that, and at 5 or 6 years of age, and push it on from there.
Yeah, well, we worked with them in Ballyjamesduff and in Cavan here, but also Costello getting on the fair, getting to the All-Ireland final. So from a hurling point of view, there seems to be interesting times ahead for Cavan.
Yeah, if underage structures look to be put in place now and move on from the start. As I said, there's no senior team in Cavan, so it's very hard for the youngsters to look up to people in the county playing hurling. But that's where the likes of Owen and the boys come in and try and push it on. Try and get the interest, keep them going. Try and get interest up like the football in the county. And as I said, if you can keep that going at school level and stuff like that, they'll keep interested in bringing it into their clubs then as well.
And it must have been very good for you, Owen, to be able to get players of this calibre to Cavan.
Definitely, any time you can get players like Porrick or Damien up here, it's fabulous. As I said, the buzz and the follow-on it creates for the kids that are picking up the hurleys today now, pretending they're Damien Hayes and scoring points, or Porrick Mar clearing the ball from the back line. The more times you can get players like this up here, and as Porrick said, we don't have any senior team at the moment, but we plan in a couple of years to have a senior team again, and have kids look up to senior players.
Right, so when they see a face that they recognise from the television and from some of the key games, it's something that they can aspire to.
Definitely, they'll tune into Tipperary this year now a lot more. I'd say Porrick and Galway, and they'll say I met these two inter-county players here today, and and they'll aspire to be as good as them. And if they can be half as good as them, or as good as them, Cavan hurling will be in a good spot in 10 years' time. So.
Oh, and maybe we'll talk to a few more of the people who turned up today.
Brilliant. Yeah, we'll do that later on today. Thanks a million.
Owen, we have somebody else who made a contribution to the children's enjoyment and fun today.
Massive. Damien Hayes, obviously here from Galway, travelled up today for the Centra Brighten Up Your Day campaign around Ireland. Fabulous coaching sessions today from Damien and Porrick, and fabulous organised day from Centra, and we're delighted to have him here. Over 160 kids showed up, and plus their parents, and put on a great exhibition of hurling and enjoyment.
Now, Damien, Cavan is not renowned as a hurling county, so you can see the developments here today. What would you feel about this?
Yeah, well, I was just saying it there. I can't get over the facilities that are here in Cavan. You have the all-weather full-size pitch. There's a training pitch just here on the right, and then we have Breffni Park. And the facilities are just unbelievable. I won't lie to you, these facilities aren't there in Galway. And even all the young lads there hurling, they all had the basic skills. Holding the hurl right, able to strike the ball, did all the coordination. And Cavan mightn't be a stronghold in hurling, but they're doing all the right things at grassroots levels. Underage, and I was very, very impressed, being honest.
Well, Owen has been working with the two development officers for quite a while now, so you can see the fruits of their development work.
Yeah, absolutely. You could see it. Like, I was with groups there, and you know, asked them to put their hands up who was able to ride the ball. Everyone was able to ride it. Everyone were able to. So they had all the basics. You know, they knew what way to hold the hurley, what way to have the boss, the whole lot. You know, and as I said, they had all the basics. You know, but it's, you know, there's only so much the coaching can do. It's what they do now at home themselves. You know, and I've always been saying it. You know, everyone is a gable end of a house. You know, everyone has a brother, a sister, a friend, a neighbour, whatever. You know, to get out there in the evenings and start poking around, and that's what develops you as a hurler. You know, every day you have to improve. You know, and there's only 3 to 4 hours a week. Every week you're with your team training, so you know you have to put in your own 3 or 4 hours a week at the gable end of a house, you know, or with your friends.
One important part of the development is the sponsorship of the event, and you have the here on behalf of Centra, who will be a main sponsor of Hurling. How important is Centra and some of the other sponsors in Hurling development?
Massive. Today was all about a community day, bringing all the communities together around Cavan in the local area. So all the Centra local shops came in together and, you know, provided the food and provided the entertainment, and Centra got the likes of Damien and Porrick down here for the day, which will encourage, as well as the kids coming out from practice, and it'll have, you know, people like Damien, you know, multiple All-Ireland winner, club All-Ireland winner, and Intercounty Galway hurler, like, coming up here. It'll encourage them for years to come, you know, and weeks to come. They want to be like that and want to be as good as them, you know what I mean, and they can be if they put the effort in.
Right, so today been hugely successful, as you said, in the hundreds of people here, without the support from Centra, with the foods and the marquee, and presumably it'd have been a family day. There'd have been other children's activities here apart from the playing on the pitch. Yeah, well, there was face painting, so there was, you know, there's food there now organised, you know, and the main thing about today was Centra organised today, you know, and we came down here to Cavan to show all the kids the basic skills, just to remind them of the basic skills. But for me, today was all about the young lads enjoying themselves. You know, have today that they'll remember for the rest of their lives, or for many days to come. You know, when I was younger, I remember going to coaching, whatever, and going to school of hurling and all that, and it was Joe Cooney School of Hurling when I was younger, and there are days I can still remember those. You know, and the fun and the enjoyment and everything. And that was the one thing that we wanted to really hit home, was to show them the skills, but to make it as enjoyable as we could for the youngsters, so that they're going home and they're talking, and maybe there's another bit of enthusiasm towards hurling for them in their homes. Yeah, that was the most important thing. Hurling at development stage has to have a social and a family end of it. Maybe at the later stages the competitive end comes in, but the social is important. Yeah, it doesn't matter, you know, what it is, whether it's hurling, it's football, it's what, you know, socially, whatever, it has to be enjoyable. You know, and that's at juvenile, that's at senior level, it doesn't matter. So it has to be enjoyable, and when you enjoy it, you know, you'll get more out of everyone, so and you'll get more out of yourself, and that's the way, you know, it has to be enjoyable from the very start. And the more enjoyment there is, the more the young lads will come down, and more young lads that will participate. Would you feel that you have a few more recruits? We spoke at some of the other training camps where you'd have 2 and 3 extra people every day. Would you feel that as a result of today you'd have quite an extra number of people?
I'd like to hope so anyway, definitely. We had 160 kids here, and if they all go home and tell one other person, that's another 160. So I'm hoping for more hurlers again coming next week.
We have 2 of the local retailers who are supporting it, who are the Centra brand. We have Rodney from Ballyjamesduff and from Eamon from Ballinagh. Rodney, you have been involved in all of our sport before, but today you're concentrating on the hurling.
Yeah, today I'm here in my work capacity. We have a Centra Community Family Day out promoting hurling skills, and we've Damien Hayes from Tipperary. We've Damien Hayes from Galway and Porrick Maher from Tipperary here teaching the children some hurling skills. There has been 15 of these events around the country organised. 14 of them have already happened, and this is the 14 to 1 came to Cavan, and there's another one in Offaly next Saturday. And it's great to see an event like this coming to Cavan. Cavan wouldn't traditionally be known for its hurling, so it's great to bring an event like this to the county and teach some of the younger children some of the skills from the best in the country.
Now, Eamon, there's the hurling developments taking place in Ballyjamesduff and in Cavan here. Have you much involvement with the event in Ballyjamesduff?
Personally, in Ballinagh now, I wouldn't have much of an involvement, but there is a very strong hurling community growing, and Sean Keating would be the main man in Ballinagh. There would be upwards of about 30-40 committed youngsters, and there's a few adults as well. There's about a dozen adults. I can't remember all their names, but there is a good strong. It's growing as we speak.
But as a retailer, you would see the benefits of supporting events like this and hurling development in the county.
Absolutely, anything to do with sport, whether once it's outdoor, whether it's hurling, football, and especially with hurling as we are sponsoring it, it's good development for youngsters. It gets them out of the house, gets them away from the buttons, gets them growing naturally, growing healthily.
And Centra being a premium brand within Ireland, it's also important that you're associated with that brand.
Well, it is. Well, we have different options of sponsoring different events. But I think hurling as a sporting event is great for youngsters, and it's just to get them exercising. And obesity, let's face it, obesity is the future disease in this country, and we have to get to some grips with it. And whereas we're a food business, we sell top quality food, and therefore we have to be seen to be supporting the right events.
And of course, as a leading retailer, people would need advice on food or dietary issues, even in relation to their own life apart from sport. You would have somebody on hand that'd be able to give them help.
Yeah, there's a nutritionist there, and there's a lot of stuff on the website as well. But the likes of today is all about giving back to the community as well. Like, we are shopkeepers within the county, and it's nice to give an event back here today. Everything here today was for free. The training was for free, the barbecue was for free, the simulation was for free, everything here was for free. So it's nice to give back something for nothing, especially in these hard times. And the sun came out today as well. After all the rain, we had a very great day weather-wise, and we were just very lucky with it. And a huge turnout, about 250 children turned up today. So it just shows you, when you do run an event, you will get the support.
Rodney and Eamon from the 3G pitch in Cavan, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that's it from Centra brightens up your day in Breffni Park. A fantastic day. Over 160 people in attendance, special stars and all. We also spoke to Rodney and Eamon. Eamon from Ballinagh and Rodney from Ballyjamesduff, two of the Centra retailers in the area. Of course, Centra is key in supporting events like this. So, from the All About Sports special in Breffni Park, it's goodbye from Brian Daly.